Those of you that your parents are always shouting at you, you think it's normal, but it is possible your parents have mental illness, but they don't even know about it, and you also don't know about it. How many of you have heard of ADHD? A lot of African parents have mental illnesses that are disguised as stress, but unfortunately, nobody really knows about this. Some of you think that going to see a psychiatrist means that the person is about to run mad. That is not entirely true. Today, we have with us Nurse Chidima, who is going to be educating Nigerians about mental health illnesses. This is the Lucky Udu experience.
But a situation whereby the stress overwhelms your ability to cope, it becomes a distress. That's where the problem comes. This is different from mood swings because mood swings are short-lived. But when it comes to depression, it tends to last longer than normal. It's not better for me to leave this world. What is even here? When you start hearing such things like that, it's no longer normal. Then hallucination, false sensory perception can tell you I'm seeing an angel here. And you yourself, you're here, you're not seeing anything. So that is one, when it comes to that person has lost sense of reality. Some cultures see it that when it comes to madness, you don't need medical care. If I go to hospital now, go to psychiatric hospital, and they admit me or they do this one, it will just be that, hey, they will see the person that this person has gone mad, or they already have mad person in their family.
A lot of Nigerians think that if you are going to see a psychiatrist, then it means you're about to run mad. Is that true?
That is not always true. One is that you have to know that mental illness is categorized into two. You have what we call neurosis and psychosis. But most often, people don't even see neurosis as a mental issue. Possibly, it's as a result of maybe what they know it to be, or what they just understand, or they don't have the knowledge. So when it comes to neurosis, the individual has touch with reality. The senses are intact. It's just that maybe they have certain challenges or disruptions in one way or the other. But when it has to do with psychosis, there is a disruption with the person's touch with reality. So when it comes to neurosis now, and when it comes to neurosis, there are certain disorders like anxiety disorders. We have the OCD, the obsessive compulsive disorders, the phobias, depression. Those ones comes into neurosis. Then another thing is that a lot of people find it difficult to recognize the symptom, not just the layman, but also even healthcare providers. They may not be able to dictate it, in the sense that some of those signs you see, you might see it as one of those things you see from your activities of daily living. But there will be a time this thing continues to occur, then you might need the attention of a specialist. So what I want to do, I'll talk about stress, anxiety, and also depression. When you talk about stress, it's kind of the way your body reacts to any maybe changes that happens in your environment. Sometimes it could be a positive stress. For instance, you are preparing for exam, you are reading, you don't sleep, you take out some time from your sleeping time to study your books. You are stressed at that point in time, but it's going to have a positive impact in you. That is eustress. But a situation whereby the stress overwhelms your ability to cope, it becomes a distress. That's where the problem comes. These ones can be characterized maybe by anger, mood swings, and all of that. Then when you come to anxiety when you have persistent fear or worry over a particular thing. It becomes persistent, it disrupts your activities, that you want to do something, you have that persistent thought, you think about that particular thing often and over. It's lasting from hours to days to weeks, entering into months. In such situation, it's no longer just ordinary worry. You need attention of the psychiatrist or maybe the mental health provider. Then another thing is depression. When you have low mood over a period of time, this is different from mood swings because mood swings are short-lived. But when it comes to depression, it tends to last longer than normal. Then the issue of psychosis is when the individual loses touch of reality.
Awareness.
Yes, awareness. They can become delusional. That is false belief. When it comes here, even to talking to them, this might tell you that definitely somebody must have put something here. And you know that nobody came here to put anything, but he will tell you no, that somebody did something here. Then hallucination, false sensory perception can tell you I'm seeing an angel here, and you yourself you're here, you're not seeing anything. So that is one. When it comes to that person has lost sense of reality. What is happening in that place? That is psychosis. You come and you see schizophrenia and bipolar disorders. This is where those ones comes in, and people used to take it that it is only those ones that requires medical attention. But you don't know that there are those ones that are neurosis are silently dealing with you, because when it comes to depression, you can get to the extent of having suicidal thoughts, and you know that this is not something to joke with, because this individual will just do it when you don't even expect it. So people perceiving all mental illnesses to be like somebody that is mad or psychotic is not always like that. But you wouldn't blame them like that, because there are certain barriers that can affect how they perceive it, which is our cultural and social background. Some cultures see it that when it comes to madness, you don't need medical care. Maybe you have wronged the gods, all they need is just to appease them. So there is no need going to medical care. What will the drug do for you? And you notice that some of these drugs that is used in psychiatry, it takes longer time for the person to, it's not something that maybe you have malaria, you take drug, it goes away. It's a gradual process. And it's not everybody that has that patient when they're undergoing care. So apart from that, fear of being judged. Because if I go to hospital now, go to psychiatric hospital, and they admit me or they do this one, it will just be that, hey, they will see the person that this person has gone mad, or they already have mad person in their family. So even the loved ones will not even encourage the person to go and seek care. Then there also knowledge gap among our people and awareness. You find out that when even in some hospitals that still carry out health education, what they'll come and teach you is about BP, diabetes. It's very rare to see someone that is educating people about their mental health. So there is a lot of gap in terms of awareness about mental health and knowledge gap, in the sense that a lot of people cannot recognize such conditions when they see it. So those barriers are one of the things that can affect how people perceive such condition, and that will determine if the person is going to seek for care or not.
Wow. This is really interesting. I saw a video a few months ago on Instagram. A lady posted that God asked her to throw away her phone or to dash it out or to even sell it. I can't remember exactly what I saw. You know, a lot of people in the comment section were like, that's true. God also told me to quit school. God also told me to do this. Somehow I felt, there could be an underlying mental illness. Because, don't expect me to understand something that God told someone else. I'm only showing concern as a human. Because out of all the things in the world that God could tell you to do, why will your foam, the bed you sleep on, will he then ask you to give it out and start sleeping on the floor? It's hard to tell. A lot of people are trying to seek God, and somehow some of them are only seeking God in a situation where they are most vulnerable mentally, emotionally, because they have gone through a lot of bad experiences. It could be somebody who is recovering from a painful marriage, now trying to feel like, the reason my marriage ended painfully was because I didn't take my spiritual life seriously, or because I wasn't so close to God, and now they are trying to make up for it. So every intrusive thoughts, intrusive talk, that kind of thoughts that will come to you as you touch this thing, do you understand? They'll think that maybe that's a voice from God. And if intrusive thought is something that keeps coming over and over again. For example, when I was a child, my intrusive, when you close the fridge, the light goes off. When you open it, it comes on. So
what is
that your thoughts will not be trying to figure out what is making it to. Do you understand?
Off.
Exactly. You not be trying to close it slowly. And that thought would have been coming for so long until one day you finally decide to do it. So I feel like somehow for certain people, that thought can just be coming recurrently. And somehow they put it that, oh, God was one that told them that thing. So do you have something to say about this? Because apart from even normal people we see on social media every day, some spiritual leaders might not be mentally okay. But unfortunately, nobody's really seeing it. They think that they are that way because they are spiritually operating on a level that we ordinary people are not operating on.
Okay, I should go ahead. Okay, one thing, like, if you have been to psychiatry, like when we did psychiatry, one of the things they will tell you before you go is that once you gain insight, and how do they determine it? What brought you here? You will now accept I was mad. And look at what happened to me, they brought me. And that is when they will now know you have gained insight. They now discharge you. So like I said earlier, one of the problems we have is that there is a gap in knowledge and awareness. Most often what happens is that it's very difficult for you to say somebody and a person will tell you I'm mad and the person will admit that insight is not there. The person will not admit it. So the people around the individual, there is kind of a persistent behavior that somebody will continue to put up. There is a time it will reach. You will know that this is just not ordinary. For instance, let me just, even you, like, let me take for instance now the mood changes that happens, because that is one of the signs you can see. One at a time, you will feel that sadness. You have that low mood. Normally it can happen with mood swings, but when it comes to maybe there is a problem, this continues to happen repeatedly and for a prolonged period of time. Then it won't even allow you to pay attention to something. So there is difficulty in making decisions. That is now affecting your daily living, and that is not normal you. There is something moving away from what it used to be. So at that time is when you're supposed to let me seek for help. And why sometimes it doesn't look like something that they need to seek for care is that most often when you come there, it can just be psychotherapy. Somebody will talk to you, try to bring your mind back. That is the psychologist. They'll talk to you, explain some certain things. As they're talking to you, begin to, try to understand certain things. Therefore, you talked about painful life events. These are certain causes that can lead to these mental health issues. Maybe loss of a job, loss of a loved ones, maybe broken relationships, or traumatic experience like domestic violence, sexual abuse. Those are the things that can trigger such condition. And I see this individual trying to think about this particular condition all the time. And this is now affecting the way he or she carries out her activities. When such happens to be the issue, this individual needs to seek for help. Because it goes gradually, maybe from your normal, maybe stress, you have been stressed, anxiety, goes into depression. And once you get into depression, that is low mood. That one, you have to see this particular sign. Low mood for a very long time. With time, you start going into what we call, maybe start having something like suicidal thoughts, suicidal attempt. Like, it's not better for me to leave this world. What is even here? When you start hearing such things like that, it's no longer normal. And if You will not do it immediately. It's going to be persistent. It's going to last for like weeks, months, and such thing needs to be managed. Because even when such person enter, like in psychiatry, they take good care of people that are depressed, because you can be with them and everything will be fine. I don't even know when they can do anything to themselves. They don't know. So the thing is that the problem here is that a lot of people, many things are holding us down, that many persons, in terms of their spirituality, it plays a role. Your religion plays a role in how you perceive what this problem is. Because some people, they don't believe. There is even some people that don't even take drugs at all. Talk more when it now comes to this side of it. And a lot of things hinder them. So those, one thing that can help them, I know that when you have knowledge about something, when you are being impacted about a particular thing, it will help you to like seek for help. But when you don't know what is happening to you, it will be very difficult for that individual to actually seek for help. So religion, spirituality plays a role of how each person perceives such conditions. And sometimes they will tell you, this is no matter of going to the hospital. It is the devil that is attacking the person. And sometimes how the signs are being masked, you yourself will be like, maybe this person is actually saying the truth. But once those signs continues to be persistent and affects your activities of daily living, it is time for you to seek for help, medical help for it, because it has treatment.
All right, guys, thank you very much for watching this very episode of the Lucky Udu Experience. We talked about mental health, which is something a lot of people don't talk about a lot these days, especially on the internet. And I'm sure that after watching this episode, you have something to think about. And some of you might have noticed strange behaviors among your parents. Maybe in the past you didn't notice it because at then you did not have exposure. But now some of you have started relating with people. You've made friends. You've traveled beyond your town, beyond your state. You've even left the country and you know what is expected. So now you can easily suspect that maybe something is not right. Why not consult with a doctor to speak with your parents? Some of your parents have traumas that they've not told you about. Some of them don't even think their children should even listen to the stories. And somehow it's affecting them, affecting how they deal with everything, how they react to certain things. They put restrictions on their children, and so I feel that they might need to see a medical personnel. And some of you also have situations in your life that you are dealing with right now, and somehow that is affecting you in a way that you are slowly losing yourself. You've lost your sense of responsibility, your sense of motivation. The things that would normally excite you don't excite you anymore. I think that for your own good, you may have to see a psychiatrist. I mean, is it psychotherapy?
No, psychiatrist or it depends. Psychiatrist.
Okay, so a psychiatrist.
Like you just mentioned, that's lack of interest. That is one of the signs. Lack of what you find pleasurable at the initial time, as all of a sudden, the interest is no longer there. It's no longer there. You don't even find it fun any longer. Nothing excites you again around you. This is the time for you to speak up, to seek for help, and
talk to you need to, because I've been there, and even recently too. You just lose motivation. You don't want to listen to music anymore because it doesn't just make sense to you. To you, it's noise. You don't want to eat the things you normally want to eat. You don't want to do the things you normally want to do. Some of you enjoy writing, researching, watching movies, but all of a sudden it doesn't interest you. You don't even want to speak to anybody anymore. You've shut down your social media. You feel like you want to be alone. You feel like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't want to try anymore. You don't want to apply for jobs anymore. You don't want to socialize with neighbors anymore. You don't want to go to church anymore. You don't want to speak to your relatives anymore. You feel like you don't need a partner anymore. You don't need a relationship. You feel like, you just start to make certain decisions because of maybe one event or series of events that are just happening over and over again. Somehow it feels like you are stuck in a loop. You are stuck in a limbo. You don't understand why your life is this way. Calm down, my brother and sister. Life is not easy for everybody, but you don't have to make decisions like this. And I feel that the kind of help you need is not just someone to talk to you. You need to see a medical personnel, and that is why we are recommending a psychiatric. A psychiatric is not just a place for mad people. No. When you are feeling some overwhelmed with life, you can speak to a doctor about it and it will help you go through this phase. It is not every phase that you need to go through with your pastor. Your pastor might not even be so experienced or smart enough to even tell you how to go about it. To be honest, he can only tell you to fast and pray. I mean, that's the recommendation we'll give to almost everybody, and sometimes we'll tell you, I'm praying for you. Trust me. Do you know how many people they are telling that same thing to? More than 1,000 persons. Young man, young woman, put yourself together. Speak to a doctor today, okay? And don't feel so bad if your friends or your family don't come through for you in the way that you expect them to. We are all dealing with issues. Some of us just don't talk about it in the way that other people can understand that we are dealing with issues. Speak to someone about it, and I pray that God helps you come out of whatever situation you are dealing with. And please, don't forget this. Do not make stupid decisions over temporary situations. May God help you. Thank you for watching this episode of the Lucky Udu Experience. See you in the next episode with Nurse Chidima. Thank you very much and bye.
Hi guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Lucky Udu Experience. Please, if you would like to assist anyone, please reach out to the number on the screen. We are the follow-up team of the Lucky Udu studio, and I am Bright.
I'm David.
I'm Latifa.
Veronica.
I'm Messi.
Our job as the follow-up team is to make sure that everyone who shares their story are not left unattended. My colleague will walk you through on how the follow-up team was created.
Let me walk you through the history of why we created the follow-up team. Over the years, we discovered that people reach out to our guests pretending to help them, while their sole aim is to take advantage of them. Because of this, we stopped putting out our guest phone number online to protect them from these predators. Also, we stopped putting out our guest account number. There are situations whereby people receive help, then stop giving updates. For example, people receive donations for their healthcare or educational purposes, but once they get the fund, they use the money to upgrade their phone or change their clothes, leaving the intended purpose unattended to. Most of the time, we only got to know people got help through the people that donated to them after waiting for an update, leaving Lucky Udu studio effort wasted. There are also situations whereby people received money then stopped giving updates, thinking the money will keep coming in. Because of this, we stopped making use of their personal account and making use of the foundation account. If you love to support any of our guests, kindly reach out to the account number on the screen so we can monitor and track the whole process.
We are seeing some situations where people receive support and do not use the money for what it's meant for. They stop replying to our messages and stop giving updates, leaving people that support wondering what happened. That makes it look like nothing was done, and effort of Lucky Udu Studio are not seen.
So the reason the follow-up team was created is simple. We want to track every story, know what support came in, and confirm it was used the right way. That is why we are seeking the cooperation of the public. Whether you are watching from Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, or anywhere else, we need your support to make this work. Cooperating with the follow-up team helps you in many ways. It helps you know that your support is going to the right place. It also helps the world see that this platform is truly changing lives. At the end of the day, this is not just about telling stories. It is about changing lives.
We are calling out for sponsorship and partnership. Every day we interview different kind of people with all kind of stories. Among are those who need help with school, health, therapists, sponsors, justice, legal support, business training, or even someone just to talk to. We need partnership to grow this brand. We can do more and we can go further. But to do that, we need support from the right people. If you would like to be a partner or sponsor, kindly reach out through the email address on the screen, luckyudustudio@gmail.com. Once again, we are the follow-up team and we are doing our best to keep this platform impactful and transparent. Thank you for watching and thank you for being part of the Lucky Udu experience.
Bye!